Greetings, all praising King. This is another continued discussion about sex weaponry. Recalling having a discussion in the past, and still yet a form of witchcraft. This is a spiritual power. It is not made by the hands of man, yet man forces conditions which enable its presence. And by spiritual, we mean demonic. That which is evil in nature. Today, it runs rampant. Our people are under attack because this lifestyle, demonic, is at war with that which is righteous. It has no limit. Even we could base this assumption from what we've seen. Never mind what we haven't. There is an objective at stake. By the predatory class. They've built their paradise at our expense. They know it shall not be without reward. And they look to justify their action by bringing people to their lair to consume and indulge of their fantasies. This will seem to protect them on that day as they will stand with those exploited. So they seem to continue their course by justifying their action. When the world adapts these cultures, they become spellbound to think that their new way is acceptable for the Lord. Sometimes it's easier just to discuss these situations. This new case, come to find out, the football team won. They were in the Super Bowl. And now the owner first you realize, wait, this man could have many types of women. And so it functions as an advertisement for this particular sector of the industry. Whereas many people were not aware that these places existed. Now they are. The results will show more business to these locations. The results will show. Why is this woman in a suicide vest suit? It's not procedure to take pictures of people in those jackets. If you look up mug shots in the state, you please notify myself if there are other pictures of people in that attire prior to this incident. This ties into the not so recent case with the pedophile billionaire that is not alone. The reason why this case had gotten exposure is because his butler got the information, the evidence, to have some public awareness, and there was some notification to the local police department and a so-called investigation underway. The police obviously didn't take it very seriously. The case dragged on from the 1990s throughout for more than a decade before it really got any exposure. By then it was said and done. There's some truth to what was said by the recent report by the Miami newspaper. But like most of that function as a cover-up for the police department. Say, oh, they were on it, but they were being blocked. They talk about the kind of actions that were being taken by the defense to sabotage the investigators, to go through their mail. This is presented as a kind of hearsay speculation coming from those that claim to be sabotaged. Nevertheless, it's information that should be further scrutinized as to how these people are able to do that, if that's the case, and got away. These kinds of things leak. When they leak, the communication channels absorb them and work their wonder to present them in that form that will persuade populations of this particular narrative, that people were on to this and like justice has been served. The man himself had had boasted upon his so-called release from his so-called time where he was enabled to go free for like 12 hours every day. That, if he was in New York, he would have paid $200. It would have been like a civil ticket. Knowing, that he has 4 houses. Look, this is a case of an international pimp. And he pimps young girls, maybe boys. And he sells them to exclusive people, predatory class. He was training them from as young as he could get them. He continues to be wealthy, powerful. The butler somehow died, is what we're told, in prison. The FBI had come to this man to apparently the story is that they were going to purchase this black book, the evidence, for $50,000. Now, they arrested him for so-called agreeing to the deal. I mean, like, how much of that story is believable? So, he had a book that implicated a billionaire. The FBI is, they watch money. They're concerned with money. And you're going to get on their radar if you get a lot of money. So this guy had a lot of money that, like, people say, well, we don't really know where he got it from. And, like, here's somebody who's implicated him on the stuff that should be of their interest, and they're looking to arrest him. Then he's gone. So it may be reasonable to think that perhaps they may have been attempting to cover up for the pedophile. And when their plan went bad, because they couldn't get the evidence, they couldn't destroy the evidence. You see, because when they write these contracts, they say, now, we receive everything. If you put anything else out, if you publicize these findings, then we'll incriminate you. We may never know. You've got the detective. He's gone. Both these guys were middle-aged. So many years after the fact, you've got this newspaper now wanting to cover this issue. Now, how does this tie in? Well, because the incident with the Patriot guy is so minor compared to this other issue that's been now pushed out. Pushing, meaning one side, dressing it up, stitching up all the seams and putting a neat cover over it. And yet now people are looking at this other national issue, because it wouldn't be national if it was just these other guys. Maybe it wouldn't even happen. Now it's a national issue. Yeah, it's giving advertisement to the place. You say, well, this guy could have all this, but he chose that. Ooh, we could afford that too. We could afford that too. So it gives the attention. If that wasn't the purpose or one of the objectives, well, then you'll see these places being shut down. But if they're not being shut down, they're still operating. And in the meantime, because the first monster has belittled the second monster situation, they're now able to sell this as these are victims, they should be protected. Now, the high man not going to argue or whether the women are victimized, because they are. And what is the reason for that? Those conditions, they've been set. They've projected these on that screen, that device. And that man has consumed minds. They think that this is how things are supposed to be. Cater constantly to the predators. When you have such poverty, across the planet, what does it not take to know how it works? A man can buy all of that. You got the children. They're sodomized for profit. That man hides behind this thing he calls free speech. And what's happening is these children are left with the wounds of this demonic curse. And so it grows across the land. From region to region. Not getting any better. That man can come with this, consent thing that people mutually consensual, and yet he forgot those people. They didn't make him. So we're dealing with blasphemy. And a mockery to faithful servants. even to the bondage of holy matrimony. Because people come together and intertwine and become one. Man is not giving adequate respect to this sacred engagement. They're not alone. These men. This industry is a factor of incentivization to excel commerce. From ancient times, these people have studied psychology and how to use sex to drive people to that peace.